Rightio, so it's that time of year again where I have to start getting a bit of firewood for next year. So just gonna go and get a load now. Just camp overnight while we're at it, just fill in the weekend. Yeah, so I'll take you along for the ride if you're interested. Rightio, so I've loaded up the trailer, just put the swags straight in the trailer, just nice and easy. Yeah, so we'll head off now and we'll get some wood. Righto, so we found our wood now. Yeah, so we'll start cutting that up. I'll show you in a sec. Rightio, so here's our bit of wood we're going to cut up. Shouldn't take too long. Might even do a time lapse, and we'll see how we go. Might be a while cutting this wood up.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
So yeah, I didn't end up using this because it was absolutely had it and it was wrecking the chain. So we just I cut three rounds off it and gave up on it because it was no good. Hunter helps me with splitting the wood and loading it when we go out. It's pretty helpful. Yeah, I think he enjoys it. Rightio, so we've finished loading up. We just chucked a little bit of wood on top there for the campfire tonight. We'll tie that down and then we'll get going. So we've had dinner, we had chicken burgers, and now we're just enjoying the fire. Yes, that's the next morning. We'll just pack up camp and then head home, unload the wood, and then I'm actually going to come back and get another load, the Savo. Righto, so I'll just check the load before we head off down the highway. We're all finished now. Yeah, so this is the second load of wood. Just finished getting that. My older son came and helped me with that, so yeah, just a quick time lapse of unloading that. Yeah, another pretty helpful young fella, 19 years old. Always willing to give me a bit of a hand when I need it. Okay, so we've ended up getting 2 loads of wood over the weekend. Yeah, so starting to make a bit of a dent for next year. Right, yeah, so I thought I'd just go through what chainsaws I use. So I've got a MS361, so generally used for camping and four-wheel driving and stuff like that. And I've got a Magnum 660, so yeah, this is the workhorse. Cut quite a lot of wood throughout the year with this one. Both really good saws. I'll just try and look after them. This one's been on the back of my son's ute, bouncing around four-wheel driving, so it's got a bit of surface rust on it. Yeah, so I might clean that up now and get it ready for my next trip. Yeah, so generally when I cut wood, I normally, every tank of fuel, I just give the chain a bit of a quick go over, and always clean out the air filter after every tank full as well. So I'll just do that now. Yeah, so I'll just keep this little sock over the air filter to keep all the main, I guess, debris out of the filter. So you can just take that off and clean that, and then just normally just tap it out every tank full, and then every now and then I'll give it a blowout with the air blower. So yeah, it gets pretty crusty. That's one tank. So yeah, it gets pretty dirty. Might even think about replacing that before I go out next time. Right, yeah, so I've just given that a quick clean. I'll just pop that back on now. Yeah, and then yeah, I've already sharpened the chain on the 660, and I'll just do the same with the other one now, and yeah, they'll be ready to go. Okay, so I thought I'd just run through how I sharpen my chain. So I'm not saying this is the right way. This works for me. Yeah, if you want to use these, I don't know if they're tips or guides, but yeah, it works for me. So yeah, if you want to give it a try. Okay, I just thought I'd quickly go through the tools I use to sharpen my chainsaw. Yeah, so basically I use a file with a file guide. Just it's got 30-degree angles on it. You just follow those, and then you've got a depth gauge as well, just to file off the followers. Just as the chain files down, you've got to just adjust the depth gauge as well. And I'll just quickly show you how I do that, I guess. If you want to follow this info, you can. There's plenty of videos online already about this, but I don't know, this works for me. Yeah, so on your file, you've got an angle to follow there, 30 degrees. So you basically, I mean, you can put this in a stump vise or a vise. I'll just do it on the back of the car. I've been doing this for years, and seem to, I do have a stump vise, but this works okay. So yeah, just put your file on, just follow the angle. I don't know, you probably can't see it on this, but there's a line there, so you want the angle to follow along there. Just a couple of quick passes. Okay, and then you just work your way along. And then with your depth gauge, you just put that over the tooth to protect the tooth, and then you just got to take off a little bit off the depth gauge there. So this probably doesn't really need much, but I'll just show you anyway. I'll just take off a little bit there. It's probably taken off, I don't know, 0.1 of a mil. But what I normally do is I sharpen every tooth, and then I come back and then do all the depth gauges. Okay, so I've finished sharpening now. As you can see, you've got the follower there. I've just touched that up a little bit with the depth gauge. If it will focus, that's the tooth there. So yeah, you just work along, just take your time. not a race, and yeah, you'll get good results. Okay, so one other tip I have for you as well is you have to, every now and then you'll have to dress your bar. So you can't avoid it. If you start finding you're cutting on an angle or something like that, a lot of the time it's to do with the way you've sharpened it, but also mainly I found it's to do with the bottom of the bar. When it flares out at the bottom, it'll catch and sort of pull the chain to one side, and that's why you get that sort of funny cut on an angle. So if you file that up, yeah, that should fix your issues 9 times out of 10. Okay, so that's all done now. I've pretty much finished prepping the saws for next week. One other tip I've got is don't use old crappy files. If your file's not cutting, you're wasting your time. File's cheap, just grab a new file. It halves your time, there's less effort involved, it's much better. Right, yeah, so that's the end of the video. I'll leave it there for now. Yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed it. It's just something I have to do, so I guess being time poor like everyone is, unfortunately we use a lot of wood. That's our main source of heating, so yeah, it's something I enjoy doing. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.